Well, hello everyone, and this is your preparation reading for the Blessing Moon Circle happening on July 3rd. And normally I'm drawn to using 4 to 5 tarot decks for any sort of a reading, but I believe there's about 7 tarot decks that wanted to come out, so I'm really excited that the energy that has gathered, that energy is just so eager to release abundance blocks, any blocks around love, any blocks around this disconnection you may be feeling from the universal flow of abundance, or even a disconnect from the life force energy I'm hearing. So more of that will come through in the anatomy cards. And for those of you who are registered in this Blessing Moon Circle, I have emailed, as always, the picture of the tarot cards. So you may print it out, tuck it in your journal, keep it as a reference to go back and see how you have progressed since the circle. So diving right in. So, as always, they want to start with the energy flow that's coming. And this energy flow is going to talk about some of the other blocks that are hiding, lingering within your subconscious. And that's blocking some abundance or some growth, personal growth, I'm hearing. So, let's get to that. And keep in mind, when the Creator talks about abundance, it means abundance in all forms. So not just in money, but perhaps there's an abundance of spiritual growth that could happen. And that often creates an opening within your energy field that brings beautiful things in that you need. And that is abundant to you because it assists your soul's evolution going forward. So that's always the intention behind healing any abundance blocks, the one that was just mentioned or just some other ones. So just keep that in mind. So the first card that had come out speaks about one of the layers of the energies that's working through you. And it says a time to give rather than take. So one of the ways to feel abundant is looking at what you could give. If our hands are clenched and our subconscious is telling us, I don't have enough, our hand, energetically speaking, our soul sort of clenches a little bit more, retracts a little bit more into itself because it fears lack. It fears that it's all that it has, whatever material things that's around the soul at the moment. And it makes it harder when something's retracted, closed down. It makes it harder for you to be open to receiving. So look into how you could give. It could be simply your time. Maybe someone appears to need a really compassionate listening ear. You could give their time and give your ability to listen compassionately. And I know a lot of you here in the circle are healers, so be careful of that level of compassion, because when we hold space for someone and listening to what they may be going through, it could possibly be draining on your own energy. So do have that discernment, and this is for particularly the healers in the group, but also to everyone else. Holding space for others can take a lot of our energy out from us, especially when it's a friend. And as we're listening, a part of you may think, that it hurts me to see you in pain, so give some of that to me, or I hope I could take away this pain for you. And in that way, you might find yourself being energetically drained. So if that does happen in the circle, we will release any cords, hooks, any life force energy you may have given away to other people without realizing it. So if you're feeling a little bit drained, maybe this card isn't for you. Maybe it's not a time to give. Maybe it's a time to give more to yourself. So however this card resonates with you. So if you have enough energy to give, offer what you feel called to do so within reason and logic and using your discernment. For those of you who need to just retreat, give a lot of time to yourself and give a lot of self-care to yourself. And I believe that's why the next card had come out. Why do I always do this? I channel the next card without realizing it. So this reading is moving along just fine, I guess. So the next card is take time to breathe out. So this goes back to the other half of you. You just need time to take a break. Take that time to just breathe out. Even if you could sneak in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm hearing 12 minutes. Interesting. That's very exact. I wonder why the creator's saying that. Okay, thank you. 12 minutes, because if you give yourself 10 minutes, your subconscious and your ego and your mind are going, okay, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And it actually takes a few minutes to actually surrender and relax into those 10 minutes. So giving yourself 12 minutes will give you plenty of time in the first minute or two to just settle in and allow your body to feel relaxed, and just take some deep breaths in and out. And then the rest of the 10 minutes, you can really allow the body and the adrenals in your nervous system to wind down. That's so interesting. I never heard that advice from the creator. So something to keep that in mind during, I'm hearing, your work breaks for a lot of you. So as you do this balance work of giving to others or to yourself, you're going to really see how this energy exchange happens, where your place in the world is, according to your place in society, your place at work, your place within your relationships, and also your place within your life currently, where you're at now on this earth age. So they're saying earth age or the body age. The soul is obviously a lot more older than your physical body's age. So you're going to start to feel that, where am I at right now? And your soul might start to feel a little bit anxious or antsy. So that's where it goes back to taking that break when you need to, that 12-minute break, just to calm your nervous system down and just allow your soul to settle down a bit into the physical body without feeling rattled by the physical body's anxiety. So it's important that physically you feel calm first, and then you could allow and really hear your soul speak to you about where you are at right now. How far have you evolved over many, many times of reincarnations? What else is there to learn? And what are the things that are happening in your life right now? Because those are the top priorities for you to learn. So as you do that reflective work, expect a powerful change. That's the next card, and that's the new moon eclipse. Do keep in mind of any of the moon references here. So you have 2 new moon tarot cards and 1 disseminating moon card. So this is all about, and in particular the 2 new moon cards are about new beginnings. When things come out in twos, it tells me that things may also happen in pairs for you. And it's interesting because there are 2 married couples that are attending our circle. So look into how any powerful changes may impact your relationship. And it's actually a very positive thing, because I'm feeling really excited. Like, this is going to be really good for the marriage, for the connection between the 2 of you. And when one partner changes and shifts, it could trigger a beautiful positive change in the other. So it doesn't happen all the time, but I could feel that possibility coming, because the couples that are attending the Blessing Moon Circle are very, very open to spiritual energy work and to spirit and messages from the creator. So when we are open like that, when couples are open like that, they could evolve together spiritually in very powerful ways. So just wanted to mention that. Speaking of being open, that's the next thing that the creator wants to talk about. So we'll go right into speaking about the virtues and the life lessons that are coming up during this time. So actually, there's one more thing that the creator wants to say about the new moon cards. expect some powerful shift or change to happen on the new moon. And I believe the next new moon is sometime around near the end of July, I believe. So full moon is on July 3rd, and then a few weeks later, the new moon. So do keep note of all the healing and the downloads that you do in the circle. How is that impacting you? And for the couples, just take note of how it's impacting also your relationship and how you can support each other throughout that time. And again, I keep hearing the Creator say, expect a powerful change for everyone. And don't worry, it's a good thing. So let's get into then the cards about the virtues. So like they said, they mention the word open and being open. So you're going to learn about what openness is all about. How does that look and feel like for you? Being open to things, but still having that balance, right? That discernment of, interesting, I wonder what that means. And when discernment comes in, that's what I call healthy skepticism, because you're just allowing yourself to have a balance of spirituality and practicality. And that's what I really encourage everyone on this path. So allow yourself to question something. And if you feel hesitation or doubt, it could be fear that is linked to it. So a fear of, well, I don't know if that's what it really is. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Is that sign something that's trying to warn me about something? So I'm feeling in the collective here, there's still some things to release around doubts about your own intuition. What you're seeing, feeling, hearing, is that really you, or is it your fear talking, using your own voice, or is it really your spirit team? So we'll do some downloads there again. And I feel like there's different belief systems that are coming through, and I'll speak about them in the circle when we meet. But during this time, be aware of how you are interpreting and accepting or receiving any intuitive hits. And to know any sort of doubts about your intuition that's coming through. I'm hearing that a lot of you are afraid of acting on your intuition and realizing that it was a mistake, that you had interpreted wrong. So there's still some fear about interpretations. So we'll release that fear in the group. And let's do some downloads of how to be able to decipher these intuitive hits or signs from spirit with a bit more confidence. I feel like there's a different belief system that needs to be released than what was released a few circles ago. So as you're being open to spirit and all this powerful change is happening, the next thing you're learning is about gateway. And this gateway card often pops out when spirit wants to talk about this portal that's opening for you. In particular, your crown chakra is opening quite a bit. And in the end, I'm going to speak about the plant medicine cards that have come out. They do want to talk at the very end. But you'll notice in the picture, all the plant medicines that have come out, they are purple. And purple is what I see at the crown. So your crown chakra is opening up slowly, leading up to the full moon, and then it feels like it will finally settle into its new size and level of activation by the new moon at the end of July. So as your body is getting ready for this opening of the crown to receive more from spirit, your head might feel a little weird. It might feel like someone is holding your head really tightly, like they have their hands pretty firmly locked around your forehead. Some of you may get headaches. So do make sure you're well hydrated and that you're eating foods that are not too heavy or oily, because that might affect the energy flow within your body and it might block some of the healing to go in. So in regards to your personal diet and your food preferences, I would like to leave it up to you on what you're feeling called to eat. But definitely dark green leafy vegetables and anything that's plant-based. So I would suggest eat things that you feel intuitively drawn to eating, because that's what your body needs to support this energy opening that's happening at the crown. And while the energy is opening at the crown, the other thing here is protection. So that's the other thing you're learning at this time. When we have some activations happening within our body or the chakras are opening up, we feel a little bit vulnerable because we could feel things working through our system. We might not feel like ourselves, but know that it's happening for a reason. So when we do feel a little bit uncertain, uneasy, or just unsure, we do need a little extra protection. So there are some gemstones that the creator is showing me right now, like tourmaline or smoky quartz, or I'm hearing hematite for some of you, because you really need to ground your energy just to support that upper crown chakra opening. So make sure you are taking in grounding energy either through walking, which is the common thing that the creator suggests, or eating root vegetables, or just carrying very grounding stones. I'm also hearing boji stones. They're very rare to find in gem shops, but if you find them, that's great. I'm also hearing landscape jasper is also good for you. So whichever gemstones you are drawn to wearing, I like to leave that up to you, because each and every one of you are all different and have different needs to support that crown chakra opening. You have a bonus virtue that popped out, and that's love. How wonderful. So this card does confirm the message earlier about the married couples in the circle who will be feeling a bit more of a deeper connection to each other. And it also feels like a different level of love where you could really honor your partner's growth by walking next to them, but not doing things for them. So that's a really high spiritual level of love where you allow the other to just evolve in their own ways, even though your mind might go, oh, I disagree with what that's going on or what's happening. This doesn't feel good to me. But you're reaching a higher spiritual level here where you could witness, see, and understand with kindness and compassion of, okay, I see what's happening, what's shifting in my partner, and I know how to support that. We could do downloads around that also. So going on now into the trauma stories around the blocks of abundance, love, or feeling this disconnection from spirit and the universe. And I'm getting this really itchy feeling all over my body. So it's your soul's way of saying that we're really itching to get rid of these trauma stories and negative beliefs that are associated with it. So the first one that had come out is, what did you want from me? And there's this feeling of suspicion and distrust of others, which has affected your connection with them. They're actually asking me to read the next card. The next card says, I've been here before with others. So this is a repeated belief and repeated relationship patterns where you may feel like you were some sort of, I'm hearing a financial sacrifice, or you had to sacrifice financially for others, or others placed you in the position in this sort of a financial or money sacrificial sort of a state. So it will release that contract from you if the creator feels that there's layers of it that could be released from the group. So to assist with me taking everyone as deep as possible in releasing these old contracts where others literally suck you dry, I'd like everyone to think, where do you feel like people really took advantage of you or placed you in a certain position where they felt it would make you a convenience to them in some ways? And it may be where they may have handed you off to someone else to raise you because they thought, well, it's more convenient for me because I don't feel like I could do that for my child. So I'm just going to pass this child on to this other person. So there's that distrust where your soul felt of, okay, I'm being handed off in a way to someone because it was more convenient to them. And I could see other traumas that are still wanting to be released. So this is pretty deep, triggering stuff. And I don't want to mention it right now in this reading because I do want to wait for everyone to do their own reflective work, and then I could really tap into the specifics and the actual wording of the belief system or the contract that needs to be released and from whom it needs to be released from. I'm feeling it's quite deeply embedded in your DNA, like it's very much programmed into you, to the point where it's like, well, it's been done like this for generations and reincarnations, and it's like a part of your soul. Don't even think about questioning it, but by questioning it, it will release you from those negative cycles in relationships. So you no longer have to continue doing that with others. And I think I channel the last card here. I don't trust you. So definitely trust has been broken. So we'll download things around trust. How does that look and feel like from the perspective of the creator? Because that's the highest vibrational download that you could get. So I'll also tune in to see what are the specific wordings around trust as positive beliefs that need to be downloaded into you. So I'm sweating like crazy as I was channeling all that 3 trauma stories. So definitely huge stuff that needs to be released. So we're going on now into where in the body that these trauma stories are stored. So I'm not surprised. The next card speaks about pain. So you see the heart, it's definitely stored deeply in the heart. The physical heart also stores memories and emotions and also beliefs. So we'll do some work around there, gently healing the heart area. I also feel that a lot of your ancestors and people in your current family who are here on earth, they may have heart issues, and those heart issues are a direct reflection of the negative beliefs that are embedded within them. So I would leave it up to the creator to guide me into what sort of beliefs that needs to be released from the heart chakra, but the actual physical heart. And the creator just wants to leave it at that. They don't want to say too much about the specific beliefs, because when we know what we're releasing, the subconscious might start to create even more negative beliefs to block the original one from being counseled. So our subconscious likes to do that. It thinks it is protecting us, but I have noticed that sometimes when the subconscious knows that it's going to let go of an old belief that's no longer serving you, it does create other interesting belief systems just to continue protecting you. So you'll find out what those beliefs are in the circle, like always. So the next one is security. I'm not surprised. Actually, I'm going to talk about the next 2 cards here. So security and God. So on the security card, there's that fetus in utero floating in the womb. And when this card comes out in regards to abundance blocks, or just blocks with spirit and the universe, it means you downloaded something while you were in the womb. And we do tend to do that. So we're going to do just a healing around the time that you were in the womb, releasing any conversations you may have heard while you were in the womb about worries about money or finances, and you may have absorbed it and it's still floating in you at some level. With the card God, you see that there's that spine and a male skull there with a horn on it. So when this card comes out, it talks about patriarchal structures and patriarchal authorities within your family. So there are blocks around how to navigate through this patriarchal society and how to be abundant within it, because the patriarchal structures within our society are so deeply ingrained and everyone's so used to it, and it does keep some level of order, which is great. But there's a part of your soul who wants to try to take it beyond that. Is it possible to create abundance beyond this patriarchal structure? And what does that look and feel like? Is it possible not to work 9 to 5 all the time? So you're starting to question about structures. So look at how structures may be frustrating you. And then I'll tune into that collective energy in the group and see what needs to be released. So the next cards are the beautiful spirit animal cards. So one of the things that the Creator wants to download is peace, and that's Dove Spirit's message here, and generally peace around the way you flow through life, just being very peaceful with it. Of course, you're able to see any sort of challenges or any other ups and downs, the Creator is saying, but being able to have that discernment and detachment and not allowing external circumstances or even your internal stuff, so emotions responding to external circumstances, not allowing those things to control you. So there's that wonderful balance of having that healthy distance that helps you navigate peacefully. And when we do that, we can make decisions that are truly good for ourselves. So they want to download those things into you. So know that during this entire time, Eagle Spirit is saying, Spirit has your back. So do pay attention to those signs, because once someone signs up for a private session or a circle, Spirit goes, okay, these people are full on ready to receive stuff from us because we're giving them all this homework. So they have their eyes wide open. So we're going to send you some things. And I don't know why rainbow keeps coming up. So I feel like rainbows are one of the signs, again, for the group to keep an eye out and note what rainbow symbolizes to you. Or is there a certain or specific color in the rainbow that stands out to you? Because that may correspond to a chakra within you where a block could be stored. And you may want to just sit in meditation and tune into that chakra within you and go, okay, what's really going on there? Spirit, show me what's the belief that's lingering there, and that could be released now if it's within my divine timing. So the wolf spirit, and it's so interesting, wolf spirit is showing up a lot for me. So this is a quite powerful animal. If you notice, and I actually told one of my clients this many, many years ago, because it was so distinct that it stuck with me. So in regards to the wolf spirit, I'm just going to tell like a little story here. I was coming or making my way back home from somewhere, and I looked over to my side and I noticed a yoga studio, and it's called Flow Yoga. But for a moment, my brain read the word flow backwards, and it read wolf. So how is the wolf spirit teaching you about flow? Where do you feel you are not flowing at this time? I'm also hearing the Creator say, where do you feel you are not flowing with your pack? And I'm asking the Creator, what does pack refer to? The pack refers to your spiritual team. So where do you feel like you're not quite connected to your spiritual team? Maybe you're not hearing your spirit guides or angels as frequently or instantly as you like. And you might look into what that could be blocking you. And that goes back again to the earlier message of downloading things into you so that you could really fully trust your intuition and not question it. So I just wanted to share that. So wolf and flow, how are those two words working right now in your life? So the next set of cards here. So this is a little bit more guidance on things that you could ask yourself as you prepare for this circle. So trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So as you do that meditation where the Creator mentioned you tune into your chakras, trust that niggly feeling, because as you trust that niggly feeling, that means you're trusting your intuition more. And if something feels a little off, ask your spirit guide, okay, what else is there? Why am I feeling this? Or why are you making me feel this? Show me a sign. And show me that sign again, because I might not get it. And I do that a lot, because I am human, so I do like to get a double confirmation from Spirit. So don't be shy, I'm hearing Spirit say. Just trust that niggle and continue just asking Spirit, send me another sign. And you know what? Send me another sign an hour later. That way I really know you really meant it and I've understood it correctly. I'm just tuning into that card to see what else they want to say, but it's gone quiet and I'm starting to sweat a lot, so there's quite a bit of energy coming through. So Starseed, and as I'm holding this card, I'm really sweating a lot. So this is really important to ask yourself, what lights you up? That's the question on this card. And I'm just being quiet here, trying to tune in to the Creator, what else they want to say. Because they've gone quiet. And I'm hearing the Creator in your spirit guides say, nope, that's all we want to talk about and ask on this card. So what lights you guys up? If you didn't have all the obligations in your life, what would you really want to do? What would that really look like? And asking yourself that would really help me and the Creator create that manifestation, meditation towards the end of the circle. And Council of Light is the final card. So divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So this is really the Creator's way of reminding you of the previous messages. One that is about deepening your trust with your intuition, and the other is really working on trusting that inner niggle within you and asking your spirit team to send you those signs that you need. Write them down, because as you do, you're going to notice a pattern over time. And the Creator is saying a lot of you need to do that, because when you reflect back, perhaps 2 years later, you're going to start to see that you did trust your intuition. You were right in the way that you interpreted the signs. If it makes sense, the Creator is asking me to share this. A lot of my clients have come back to me anywhere from 2 to 4 years later as an email or as a one-on-one session, and they shared with me that the signs I mentioned that they would see or what would happen happened, but it took a while. And it took a while for them to decipher, understand, and create this communication system of symbols between them and the spirit world. So it's so important to really note down or journal down to keep track of those signs that you see, and don't just write down the signs that you see and what you think. It means also write down what was happening for you in your life when those signs popped up, and what happened for you, any other significant events that happened in between other signs or omens or synchronicities that's happened. And you're going to see a pattern, a cycle also of your spiritual evolution. We all go through certain lengths of cycles, so journaling over time will help you see that. And I'm hearing that for a lot of you, the cycle of this spiritual phase, I want to call it cycle, phase, however you want to call that, it's going to get shorter and shorter because your soul is able to integrate quite quickly from whatever it needed to learn and heal and release during that cycle and within divine timing. So you may notice, and this is for a handful of you in the circle, you may notice your integration and your spiritual cycle or phase becoming a little shorter. It might not be noticeably short, but you may notice yourself healing and ascending, energetically ascending a little quicker. And that's all they want to say right now. So going on now to the plant cards. And okay, thank you. The creator's just reminding me, when plant spirits come through, they don't like humans to interpret for them. So the plant medicines want to speak directly to you, and up to you to trust your intuition, those niggles within you, on what the messages here on the cards mean. So the first plant spirit that had come out, Iris. Rainbows and messages. Okay, well, there you go. Didn't we just talk about rainbows being one of the signs? So Iris spirit card has a quote on the bottom, and it says, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for the stars. The next purple colored flower are asters, and I love asters. They actually grow wild in the backcountry here, and it's actually very, very beautiful. The purple tones are absolutely magnificent. So I hope all of you get to see aster in the wild one day. If you have already, that's awesome. So aster says elegance and patience. It's always good to have patience on our spiritual path, doesn't it? Oh, I heard a spirit guide say, we saw a couple of you roll your eyes at the word patience. So patience, that's one thing. Or, oh, okay, thank you. Isn't there a flower called impatience? So that could be another plant spirit that's sneaking in here, because I could feel that flower's energy coming in. So up to you if you want to look into that flower, its meaning, how it grows, because how it grows could teach you a lot about your abundance blocks or where you are at in your spiritual journey. Aster has a quote, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. So the final spirit card here is from Lilac Medicine. And she talks about first emotions of love. Love is the magician that pulls man out of his own hat. How beautiful. And what a great card to end. So I look forward to channeling this journey for everyone. I do feel that you may need not just one big glass of water, but possibly two. And when one is drinking a lot of water throughout a circle, you might need to get up and go to the washroom. So if you need to do that, you can. I'm going to make sure that once you return back to your seated position in the circle, because this is all happening online, so I could tune in energetically. So once you've returned, I'll make sure the downloads that you missed all goes in. So I'll just pay attention to that energetically throughout the time we have together on the Blessing Moon. So I look forward to this journey. I wish you all a beautiful day.